All right, I don't know if this is going to be a long video because, frankly, it is pretty late and we could probably go on about this for a while. It's a pretty interesting topic. Uh, this weekend, of course, you must have probably, if you watch this channel, you must have caught a little bit of the chat with Arjun, Truth Secret Jeff, as we call him, concerning the victory of Modi in India. And I would say that Modi and Matteo Salvini. This is going to be hyperbolic, but I don't care. I think they represent the leadership of the free world, and I don't say that necessarily just as a way to kiss ass to them, but uh, if you look at both of those countries, those are places where this idea of populism is certainly just conquering all mountaintops. In India, it's already gotten to, I guess, a high water mark. Although I guess it could conceivably get higher, but it's hard to believe that Modi will have more support in the future than he has right now. With Salvini, it could be that he's just getting started. This was published in April, and Bloomberg was predicting that Salvini was going to keep his government together. They have a coalition in Italy that keeps the government alive between Salvini's Lega, the Italian League, and the Five Star Movement. And now we're seeing cracks developing where that coalition could fall apart. Now, why is that good news for Salvini? Well, the fact is that this is his coalition partner, Luigi Di Maio, who is the head of the Five Star Movement. And it's much harder for him to keep control of his movement because the Five Star Movement is it's anarchist in its own internal internal structure, and it's like, I guess it's populist to a fault. And it's unfortunate because I think that the Lega and the Five Star Movement have important things to contribute in their own right to the Italian political conversation. Lega is much more traditional. It is what you would call a Christian-oriented political group, it's exhibiting that type of thing is exhibiting a resurgence in Europe. And the Five Star Movement is more secular but reformist. And they're both very Eurosceptic, although I would say the Lega Party much more so. However, it's going to be likely that if this coalition falls apart, the Five Star Movement could see a return to mediocrity because neither of them are really able to coexist side by side. Their constituencies or the target demographics for the Lega and the Five Star is the same. Very Eurosceptic people, some youth that can't get employment because of the massive migration there, and the lack of any development, the bizarre tax structure of Italy, where people are basically in order to function in Italy, you have to be cheating on your taxes if you're running a business. So it says here the spread between benchmark Italian 10-year debt and similar maturity German paper tightened 1 basis point to 281 points. Italy's 10-year yield fell 1 basis point to 264. Di Maio saw his party's support halved in the European ballot compared with the 32% he scored in winning last year's general election. That's something that people should remember. They're both serving as co-equal partners in the Italian government, but the Five Star Movement won twice as much as the League in the Italian election last year. Now it's flipped. The Five Star Movement is losing support. The League is gaining much more, and eventually you're probably going to see the Five Star Movement fade away because it's not a movement that I think is built to last. It's populist in structure such that it's almost impossible for them to keep on thriving. The alliance is creaking just as the European Commission starts to up the pressure over Italy's increasing debt load. The Commission is heading down a disciplinary track that could end in financial penalties, setting Rome and Brussels on a course for a rerun of the budget clash that roiled markets last year. So this is what's so awful about Europe. All these countries, and Italy is one of the countries with a more powerful industrial economy, but still just horrible public debt. Something over there. I would have to look at the figures, but it appears as if they are sitting on a house of cards, which is unfortunate for all involved, including both Di Maio and Matteo Salvini. But it's because of the borrowing habits of these European countries and because of the lending habits of countries like Germany. Spending plans have to be submitted to both the Commission and the Italian Parliament in October, and lawmakers have to back the bill by year end. If a government crisis prompts President Sergio Mattarella to dissolve Parliament in mid-July, elections could be held in late September, and so any protracted talks on forming a government would eat into the time available for the budget. And in his address to lawmakers, Salvini said he'll also pull the plug on the government if Five Star continues the personal attacks directed at him in the last weeks of the European campaign. The two people said if Di Maio is supplanted by his rabble-rousing rival Alessandro Di Battista, it will be impossible to work with Five Star, one of the people cited Salvini as saying. In the meantime, Salvini recommended delaying particularly contentious issues given Five Star's frailty, the lawmaker said. So the main party, numerically, in the Italian government is not built to last. We will see, Salvini emerge as the face of Italy's future. And Di Maio, I'm sorry to say, I don't think he has staying power just because of the structure of his movement, as well as the fact that Europe is moving towards a more right-wing, in some cases religious-oriented, as in this case, populism. One final note: there was going to be a coalition between Salvini's Lega and Hungary's Fidesz, which is it's controlled by Viktor Orban. That's apparently not happening. So we're not seeing a uniformity within the populist movement in Europe, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. A lot of people would probably say it's not good because you need unity against Brussels. But of course, what's the point of being independent if you have to if you have decisions that are dependent on other people? That's not real independence. So that's about it. Yeah, I think that Salvini, along with Modi, probably qualifies as the leader of the free world. Orban, I'm not as knowledgeable about, but he's a little bit of the same type of leader. That's about it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also subscribe to me on BitChute and Minds.com. As you can see right here, Minds.com, we have this Civil Liberties Forum as well as BitChute at Chef Leopard. And I'll talk to you later. Have a great night.